In today's show, we're going to discuss overcoming the Groundhog Day feeling. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Boardman. If you are coming through, please do let me know down below. Please let me know if this resonates or if you've ever been in this situation. How are we doing? Hope you had a great weekend. So this morning I wanted to talk about how we can overcome this groundhog mentality or feeling that we constantly have while waking up and living on the way that we're living our lives. Okay, wake up late, go to work frustrated, stay in the commute frustrated, go to work, be frustrated, come home, be frustrated, drink, same in, same out, same in, same out. Consistently this process of feeling and being maybe unhappy, like nothing really changing. And it's kind of like that film, the Bill Murray film, Groundhog Day. You wake up and it never changes. And in some respects, when you create routine for yourself in terms of, like, my morning routine is the same in terms of the shell. So I kind of look at the shell of our day. So like the morning routine, the same, the shell will be the same throughout most of my days are pretty much the same. But where we get the variety are the things that we do within that shell. So for example, the 4-mile walk that I do every single morning, that is mixed up by the variation of things that I listen to. Okay, so I listen to different podcasts, to different audio books, different thought processes. That's variation is then created by doing a different workout each day, whether it's going to be a run or a swim in the sea when it's lighter, or going to the gym and kind of mixing that up. In terms of doing your meditation, in terms of doing your journaling, it's kind of like writing something different or creating something different. And in terms, the routine is always the same, but the variation comes within what you do within that routine. And it's the same in terms of commuting to work. There's a huge opportunity in terms of just thinking about driving to work, being anxious about work. You're actually creating more of a structured, varied mindset and format and thought process from your morning routine that goes into your commute. So if you think about your commute, again, you can listen to different audio, you can listen to different things, you can actually spend time reflecting rather than being consumed with anxiety and stress or frustrating or being frustrated. And I think sometimes, again, when let's just say you're a 9-to-5 guy or you're a shift guy from 7 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon or whatever it is, in terms of work, like, it's very difficult to really overcome that feeling of enclosure when you're at work. So you're feeling sometimes frustrated and overwhelmed. But there are certain things that we can do in terms of that, like having our own agendas in terms of trying to achieve the top 3 things, trying to improve your performance levels, trying to control the elements of time and personal management. So instead of it being the Groundhog Day where you wake up and you're stressed and you're frustrated, we can actually try to implement small wins, 1% wins that improve the way that we manage our time, so that we actually feel like our head is above water rather than drowning in life. Jesse, here. And then it's the variation of the transition routine. So going from a workplace, then going to a personal place and having that transition routine so that we allow ourselves to get out of that mindset of just going home and being snappy with everyone and drinking and consuming and being negative and not doing anything. We're actually going from that Groundhog Day of the exhaustion of going through the commute home to like brain dumping, to planning ahead, to listening to audio in a car, to going for a walk, to doing meditation, to doing a workout, so that you're going home cleansed of everything that's happened for the day. And instead of that hamster wheel of doom that we go through over and over again, we go through that same cycle of just feeling like shit and being overwhelmed and being anxious and making up problems in our head and overthinking everything. The elements of control and variation come within the varied periods of your day and what you do during those periods of your day. And that ultimately comes all the way back down to planning and kind of thinking about what you want. And I talked about this last week, knowing what you want. What are you working to? So like on a Groundhog Day, you're just showing up, you're firefighting, you're sprinting on the hamster wheel. But when you know what you want and when you start planning to achieve what you want, then the variation comes to you within the day. Then the passion shows. Then the emotional connection to what you want to do shows. Then the drive and the thriving and all of the good stuff that gets us up and gets us going and wants us to achieve those things all end up coming into end of our day, because we're trying to win each day. We're trying to win each minor little battle to then win the war. And the war is your mission, is what you're trying to aim for, is what you're trying to achieve. The Groundhog Day is having none of that, waking up, firefighting from the minute that you wake up because you've only got 15 minutes to get out of the door, scrambling to get to work on time, feeling like shit because of it, and being at work and dealing with it and dealing with yabbering in your ear or negativity or falling behind on work, and just thinking, when is there something else going to be better in my life? That's the Groundhog Day we don't want. Okay, but what we do want is elements of control, elements of passion again in our life, elements of working towards something, elements of feeling in here inside of our head and our heart that we are progressing forwards, that every day we're looking for something to improve ourselves that takes ourselves a little bit closer to fulfillment, to happiness. And I think that's where we break the mold or the stigma of the Groundhog Day. And how you do that is by first of all figuring out what you want, and secondly actually taking action in terms of waking up early, listening to positive content, reflecting on your own mind and understanding your own mind, questioning your own mind, questioning the things you're overthinking, and that constant cycle of trying to improve yourself and keep saying to yourself, well, this is not working for me. This Groundhog Day thing is not working for me. I keep doing the same thing in and out. That this life doesn't work for me. So what I have to do is break that pattern, and I have to start implementing small changes. Not all at once, because that's where it goes wrong. And then you have the fuck it moment and you give up after a couple of weeks. But what we need to do is think more long term, okay, and start breaking down the biggest pain areas for you right now. And for me, it all stems from the morning. Once you've got your morning squared away and you've got that, and you're checking in on yourself, and before checking in on the world, that means you are keeping your head above water rather than drowning. So kind of in summary, to break that feeling, that stigma, that emotion of just waking up and doing the same thing, same thing every single day, with no vision, with no end game, with no end result. We've got to start finding the varieties in our life. We've got to start having and understanding the reasons and things that we want and why we want them, and start planning ahead so that there is purpose in our day. Every single day we live with purpose rather than just Groundhog Day of this zombie-like mode, okay, and we don't actually know where we're going. I hope that helps for this Monday morning. I hope that you have a great week. I hope that you dominate your time and your life and everything you're trying to do. We're leading up to a really happy period of the year, okay, despite what's going on. Let's look forward to being happy, and if we can get this in the right place so that we can get into the end of the year, finish the end of the year strong and start the new year strong, we're going to be in a great place. All right, guys, take it easy.